So good. Marcus, your turn, my man. Yes, and Jack DeBartle will be baptizing him, and his wife is going to share a word. If you don't know this man, he's a good dude. There you go, sir. So Jasmine's going to share a little. Jack, come on up here. We all coordinated. Yes, so.
I'm Jasmin. I'm married to Marcus. We've been coming to Redemption for about a year and a half. But I wanted to share my story because I was considering getting baptized today. I grew up in a Christian household, and I thought I knew all the right answers and totally knew my faith, or even what Christianity was all about. I grew up around Christian families and went through Christian school. Then my parents got divorced when I was 18, and I left New Jersey to come to start over in Arizona and finish out in college. Throughout college, I didn't go to church hardly ever, and I walked away from my relationship with God, but God never walked away from me. One random Sunday, I joined my mom at her church, and they were doing a call for baptism. Anyone could do it, and they had baptized a bunch of people that day. So I felt God pulling me back in, and I got baptized too. But I didn't get to share my testimony with anyone. I didn't know any of the pastors. I really felt like it was just a leap of faith. Fast forward to coming to Redemption North Mountain 7 years later, now married. I'm finally feeling like this is where we're supposed to be. I've been thinking about getting baptized, and with not really having anyone explain it to me before, I thought I needed to consider it again. But this time, being able to tell my testimony and with a family I trusted and knew. After talking with Xavier to prepare for today, I understand that my baptism 7 years ago wasn't just going through the motions. It wasn't by accident. It wasn't wrong in any way. God loved me then, and he's loved me since, even through all the mistakes and sins I've done since being baptized. So I won't be getting baptized today again because I don't need to. I believe in the gospel. I believe that the Holy Spirit continues to mold me and grow me. But I wanted to share that being married to Marcus and seeing him being changed by God and growing stronger in his faith has been so amazing to watch and so cool to see God answering my prayers. So I'm here to support him in his decision to get baptized, to die to myself and serve my husband in this church, and really live out what God is doing in my heart.
Amen.
Being married has been one of the hardest life lessons for me. Because of how deep-rooted my selfishness truly is and the influences I had growing up. And within the last year, I've realized just how much deeper I need Jesus and to lean into my relationship with him so that I can live out his love and love my husband better like I'm called to. I'm excited to see where God takes us from here and how he'll continue to grow our marriage. And I'm so thankful he's blessed us to be part of this Redemption North Mountain family.
Ooh. Marcus, why are you here?
I gotta follow that up, huh? I'm gonna follow the notes.
Yeah.
So, without Jesus, my life was marked with selfishness and self-reliance. I was always trying to figure things out myself. I was like reading self-help books, watching YouTube, whatever I can do, like looking for answers. And after college, I felt lost. I had grown up playing sports, and once that was gone, I felt depressed. I didn't know what my life was about, where I was going to go next, so I just turned inward and focused on myself, focused on my own problems, and that cut me off from everybody else. I was no longer worried about others. It was just about me trying to fit in with the world and trying to keep up with the Joneses and trying to, go with whatever's cool now. But I just... this passage, Romans 12:2, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect.
It's real.
God took a hold of my life through my family, I was raised in the Catholic Church, was baptized as a child, went to Sunday school, and I've felt God has been with me my whole life. Proverbs 22:6 reminds me of my parents, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Like I said, I also grew up playing sports. So I played football since I was 8 years old. And I was never a part of a good team. I never won a championship. Made it to the playoffs once. And I graduated high school. I got an offer to a small D2 school in New Mexico. And I got there and I was just like, man, this isn't what I thought this was going to be. So I said, I'm going to come home. And I said, I'm going to go back to a small school and say, God, I want to play Division I football. And if I don't, then I don't want to play anymore. And I worked really hard that year. And sent out some tapes to people. And oddly enough, the two schools that were left were Baylor and UNLV, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And UNLV was really interested in me. I was talking to the coach, and they were like, I thought I was going to go there. And then all of a sudden, it was just like, they just pulled the plug and said that was it. I had no other offers. And I was like, I remember sitting in my car and just being like, God, if you want to do this, like, it's up to you. And then I don't remember how long it was after, but shortly after that, Baylor called me, and I was sitting in class, and they offered me a position to play there. And I only tell this story because God will answer your prayers even more so than you even asked for. I asked to play D1 football. I didn't ask to win 3 bowl games in 3 years and play with a Heisman Trophy winner. Like, I was like, what is all this? But even that was like beyond what I could have asked for. And then afterwards, like I said, I lost my way and I didn't know what was next. And then I met my wife. My wife came into my life. She met me at a low point in my life, and I was not ready to be in a relationship, or so I thought. And I pushed her away, but God brought her back in the most unsuspecting way at a sandwich shop, getting lunch. As only God can make the mundane beautiful. And she brought me back to church, and that's when I knew she was the one. And I want nothing else than be sitting in church next to you. Proverbs 31 is an excellent wife who can find. She is more precious than jewels. And then, of course, Redemption North Mountain has been such a blessing. Our friends Jake and Mia that brought us here, the Evans, Jack and Trisha have been such a blessing to us. They've guided us through such a hard time in our marriage. Dan and Amy Blackwell, they're leading our RC. Like, so many others, like all of you have been such a blessing to us. It's been such a family. And there's no other place that I'd rather be to do this. I'll try to wrap this up. Sorry. Jesus is my treasure. He's just a perfect example of how we should all live and how to love others and sacrifice for others. He's basically changed everything about my life, changed my heart. I lean on him every day. And I want to be baptized because from this day forward, I want to follow Christ, put off my old self, and be renewed by his word, and be filled with his Holy Spirit.
Wow.